The gravitational service advisor has made the client shift, the mental shift, to think of everyone that has anything to do with their success, with his or her success, to think of them as a client, someone under your care. Look it up in Webster's dictionary. Client means someone that is under your care. And number one, you got to make some commitments. When you consider a person under your care, you're going to make a commitment that you would never allow that person to leave your presence without getting the proper frequency, quality, quantity of product, service, maintenance, care, then what would give them the best outcome, the maximum enjoyment, financial benefit, protection, and just plain fun. So again, you've got to make a commitment that everyone that has to do anything with your success, if you want people to gravitate to you, they're under your care. You care for them. So who's the first person that should be under your care and consider them your client? You, yourself. Make sure you care for yourself. What does that mean? You got to have a healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul, and be fully trained on everything that has to do with your career, and mind the full extent of greatness that's within you. Don't settle for 20%. Don't settle for 50% of the way. Go all the way. Find out the greatness. It's already within you. It's not like one day somebody's going to flip the switch and new greatness will come into you. Greatness is already within you. So number one, you have to make a commitment to yourself. And I actually have to write them down. There's so many, and I probably won't cover them all. But here, I'm going to try it, so I'm going to have to read some of these. So to each client that you deal with under your care, you made the client shift, the mental shift that you will consider them under your care. So you'll give each client the right amount of service, quality and quantity and frequency that brings them the maximum protection and benefit, financial benefit and enjoyment, which might mean selling them accessories. So if you consider them under your care and you think that you shouldn't recommend everything that they need, then you really don't care for them, because people want to be safe and they want to protect their investment. Even if I'm going to tell you as a client that, well, I don't really feel like spending $700 today. Well, that may be true, but I do feel like protecting my $40,000 investment in my vehicle. So commit to 100% truth in automotive service. Present all the work. Present all the work that's needed. So clients under your care. Then, to your coworkers, technicians, service advisors, your warranty administrator, anyone that you work with, commit that they are under your care. To try to always give them the kind of service where they leave your presence saying, wow, he really thought about all the things that I need. She really thought about my needs too, whether those are emotional. You got to know people. If you're going to be a service advisor, you have to get those technicians to do things for you. Porters, the detailers, everyone, they need to be under your care. Management, your service manager. If you as an employee hate your management, find a new job. You got to trust your leaders. And guess what? If they're doing something that's going against the benefit of the whole company, of the whole organization, or against your success, discuss it with them. That's how you care for them. You openly discuss issues with your managers. Don't hold it in. Request a meeting and say, hey boss, I need to talk to you. There's some stuff going on that really needs attention, that's really bothering me. So that's how you care for your management. Then parts employees. Hey, you got to feed those parts employees some donuts every now and then, or veggies or fruits, whatever. Consider them under your care. The parts manager. Well, the parts manager a lot of times is really, really hard to work with, right? The toughest people to work with in a car dealership, at least for the service advisor. Just kidding. I love parts managers. They get all the right parts for us, for all the frequently used parts, and they help us succeed every day. So, hey, be nice to your parts manager under your care. A used car manager, used car department, and how you care for the used cars so that they're presented in top shape to the customers who are buying them, under your care. New car department for accessories, or how you handle requests from salespeople for installation of accessories, under your care. Even if a salesperson pisses you off and they're talking to you in a way that might be disrespectful, you might think, under your care. They'll come around. Consider them under your care like they're your client. Even to the salesperson who's obnoxious, hey, never happened before, not to me. Make sure that you care for them. They'll come around and they'll bring you clients, all the clients that spend all the money that makes your paycheck. Who else? Accounting. Accounting department might have issues. Something's not balancing. Guess what? Under your care. Consider them a client. Serve them. Who else? Of course, I said warranty administrator before. The factory. Make sure that you become friends with the factory rep, your DPSM. You got to do all the training. Get all the manufacturer training done. Knock it out. I mean, come on, man. Michael Jordan he called in a top coach and he paid him top money, not because he thought he was worth that, but he didn't want him training anybody else. So he trained so hard when others weren't training. So if you want to be the best in your market and be a most trusted advisor for life, you've got to do all the manufacturer training. Heck, do all the technician training too. I mean, what are you going to do? Play Fortnite? Really? You're a grown-up. This is not a dress rehearsal. It's time for you to take your career seriously. So the factory and the factory rep, under your care. The vendors. Consider your vendors under your care. And guess what? If any of this seems too much for you, then you've never made the commitment to the most important person. The golden rule is, love others the way you would love yourself, or do unto others as you want them to do to you, right? So if any of this seems a little bit out there to you, then you've never fully made the commitment to mining all the greatness that's within you. But that's the number one commitment that a gravitational service advisor needs to make. Make that commitment today that you will mine all the greatness that is within you, that you will become the best of the best at presenting services. When someone says, hey, I'd like to go to the aftermarket, you'll already have 4 or 5 responses to that. And you just say, there is no comparison in the quality. In fact, just yesterday, I talked to Lisa, a friend of mine, who said that she does all of her work. She shopped some parts for her Jeep, and she found the dealer to be the cheapest one. This is a true story. When you hear stories like these from your friends, you got to write them down and keep them in your arsenal and tell your customers, yes, a lot of these repairs seem expensive, but they're just as expensive in the aftermarket. The point is, be prepared for every scenario. Role play. Make that commitment. Number one commitment to yourself, and the 12, 13 commitments. Guess what? Everyone you come in contact with, under your care. If you want business to gravitate your way, if you want to be known as the person who generates lots of new and used car sales because your repeat customers, they keep going to the sales department. And guess what? You can negotiate a commission on that. The top service advisors have done that. And you've got to make these commitments.